LSU is set to hire Lane Kiffin. It's happening. We've been tracking it for a while. It's been ruminating here for some time. Marty Smith, I think, has spent over 2 days in Oxford, Mississippi. This is happening. LSU is going to have Lane Kiffin as their head coach next season. What does it mean for the Tigers? What do you make of this for Lane Kiffin? Do we think it's going to work? We'll break all of it down right now. If you're an LSU fan, listen, man, we picked y'all preseason to win the national championship. I sat right here and ate a Popeye's chicken sandwich, a spicy Popeye's chicken sandwich, might I add, in solidarity for my folks in Baton Rouge, and said, this is the year, Tigers, here we go. Now, it didn't go that way. But if Lane Kiffin is who we all think he is, and if this is the fit that we all think it is, we might be taking another bite out of a Popeye's chicken sandwich here, saying the exact same thing here in the not-too-distant future, all right? If I'm not tipping my hand there enough for what I think about this hire for LSU, then I'll do all that right now. So, again, make sure you're subscribed. It's my point in all this. Make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following, too, on the social platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, if you feel like it, at JD PicKell. Want to hear from y'all there. How are the vibes in Baton Rouge with this essentially coming down the pike with Lane Kiffin set to be LSU's next head coach? Now, some news that also is breaking along with this, Lane Kiffin's starting to get the staff situated, all right? A big note within that is Lane Kiffin, it's reportedly, is telling his assistants, hey, this plane's leaving for Baton Rouge here pretty soon. If you're not on the plane, you're not with me. Now, it's also reported that Pete Golding, Ole Miss defensive coordinator, is expected to stay in Oxford. Stay with Ole Miss. Now, all I'm saying there is if I'm Lane Kiffin, number one order of business, as soon as I get cell service, or before that plane even touches down, right now maybe if you're watching this video, right the freak now, I'm calling Blake Baker saying, hey, listen, stay with me, brother. Stay with me. Because your defense plus my offense, I've seen the future. We got confetti pouring over our complexions. We're lifting national title trophies. Stay with me. Good things will happen. That's the number one recruit I'm after if I'm Lane Kiffin is keeping your DC Blake Baker in Baton Rouge. Now, in terms of this hire, this is exactly what LSU needs. Exactly what LSU needs, because I think a lot of LSU fans watched the product on the field this year, and not even talking about a schematic side of things, not even talking about what happened on the field from the result side of things. Like, LSU didn't look very LSU-ish from a personality point of view. Like, LSU, at their very best, to put it simply, they have a certain level of, like, don't give a fudge to them. Like, they don't care who you are. They don't care what your logo is. They don't care what conference you're from. They're LSU. They're kicking down your door, and you got to deal with them for 4 quarters. It's sideline to sideline with no seatbelt. It's explosive. It is aggressive. It's all those things. Like Tyrann Mathieu was called the Honey Badger. What do you know about the Honey Badger? Honey Badger don't care. LSU at their best, they don't care. And you say that about LSU, then you look at what Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss team was. We're throwing down slam dunks on the sideline after we score a touchdown. We got hot yoga going on every single morning, it sounds like, non-negotiable for Lane Kiffin. We got a dog running around the field. We're going to the portal, grabbing a D2 quarterback and going to the college football playoff. There is a certain level of don't care with Lane Kiffin that perfectly fits LSU. And I'm not saying don't care in the sense that it is throw caution to the wind and be irresponsible and be ignorant. It is a certain level of don't care in terms of we don't care what you think of us. We're going to do our thing. Beat to our own drum, score points, talk trash, all that. And I think that's going to fit beautifully in Baton Rouge. Now, I also think the beautiful pairing here is Lane Kiffin and the offensive acumen and just the overall Lane Kiffin brand power that he brings paired with the LSU brand power. Listen, in the state of Louisiana, it's been well documented. You grow up a Tiger fan. You grow up wanting to go to play at LSU. And now, as of late, you have offensive skill players watching what's gone on in Baton Rouge and watching guys like Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. The optics for recruits, even outside of the state of Louisiana, are that school scores points, that school is cool, that school has flash, and now you're bringing in a head coach that maximizes all that. It's Coke and Mentos with those things combined, because you have this guy who also has his own track record of chucking his clipboard up in the air before the play's even finished, or chucking his call sheet up in the air when they got a touchdown dialed up. Like, there's a certain level of the Lane Kiffin offensive acumen paired with what the brand of LSU that's going to attract offensive playmakers. I'm telling you now, get ready to score a lot of points in Baton Rouge. Get ready for that scoreboard to have quite a few numbers hung on it here over the course of the next few seasons with Lane Kiffin running the show out there. Now, I think you also have to take a step back when you look at this whole Lane Kiffin to LSU discussion and assess this idea of like, why would you leave LSU, or why would you leave Ole Miss for LSU, Lane Kiffin? Because I said it before. I think at Ole Miss, he had everything he needed to win at the highest level. If you don't believe me, look at where they're at right now, y'all. I mentioned D2 quarterback, college football playoff, historic season in Oxford. All that is true. But I think you only leave a really good thing for a sure thing if I'm Lane Kiffin. I'm not saying you had to leave Ole Miss, but I'm looking at what LSU is, and I'm saying, okay, if I'm going to leave a place that I have up and rolling, that I have humming at this level right now, I'm only leaving for a place that I believe I can win more than one national championship, is what I would have to believe his thought process is. At the very least, you have the opportunity to win national championships. At the very least, you feel good about like the resources and track record and the brand power. And that's the thing here. The last 3 coaches, not named Brian Kelly, have won national championships there. Like, if I think I'm a better coach than Les Miles, should bode pretty well for Lane Kiffin. So there's going to be some people now that maybe are the smaller sect of the college football public that say, well, I don't know, Lane Kiffin's kind of weird. He left Ole Miss on weird terms. That got kind of messy kind of quick. Are we sure this is going to work? Are we sure he's not too weird for LSU? Here's my thought process. Is Lane Kiffin eating grass, deciding whether or not he wants to go for it on 4th down? Is Lane Kiffin challenging his players in a team meeting, taking his shirt off to wrestle them like Ed Orgeron was? Eating grass like Les Miles was? No? Okay, well then I think we're probably in good shape there from the start. Also, if he is too weird, isn't that kind of a qualifier for the LSU job? I think you got to have a certain level of weird to you to fit in at LSU, to be about what that whole thing is. And also, too, for this pairing of Lane Kiffin and LSU, I said this before, but I'll say it again. To me, LSU and Lane Kiffin is the crazy couple of college football. And it's beautiful, man, because you're looking at it, you're like, I don't know if is that going to work? You know what I'm talking about. There's always that couple that you have friends of friends that know, or maybe they're in your social circle, and it's like, hey, she's kind of loud. He rides motorcycles. He's got a nose piercing. She likes to skydive. They're both intense. They're both kind of crazy, but you know what? The craziness, while it, on paper it looks like it wouldn't go together, it goes together beautifully because they're both intense and they're both about the same thing. That's LSU and Lane Kiffin. They're about the same thing. Both a little bit psycho for sure. He's doing hot yoga. He's going to the portal. They got a tailgate going on for 3 days before the Alabama game. It's a little bit crazy. It's intense. But you know what? It's going to work because they're both psychotic and obsessed with winning at the highest level. Make no mistake. That's why Lane Kiffin makes a move like this. Not to win one national championship. And to be honest now here, I don't know what like the timeline you put on it is if you're an LSU fan, but I'll say this. I would be shocked if Lane Kiffin doesn't win a national title at LSU. The resources, his offensive acumen, his track record, it's been building to this if you're Lane Kiffin. It's been building to win a national championship, and you only go to LSU if you think you can get one. And I think for LSU and for Lane Kiffin, you probably think you're getting more than one. Now, we'll see what happens. Again, this ink isn't even on paper at the time of us recording this. But with that being said, I think this is a great fit. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I cannot wait to see how LSU puts together their roster here going forward, because you expect Kiffin to hit the transfer portal pretty hard because that's what Kiffin does, but also with that logo on a quarter zip or an advisor walking into any high school in America, much less Louisiana, I think they're going to have a pretty good shot to go land top talent across the high school level as well. People said Brian Kelly wasn't even working, and they were landing top 10 classes, so Lane Kiffin's working. Tell you that right now. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section and on social media at JD PicKell, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you want to get at me on. Those are the platforms. For Cato on the ones and twos, for myself, JD PicKell, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.